Osman Bey fights with everything he has, not just to protect his loved ones, but also to uphold his cause. When he learned that his wife was alive, hope was reignited in his heart. But this victory did not come easily. Now, Osman Bey prepares for the final battle, to completely free his family and drown his enemies in their own blood. Despite all the hardships, Bala Hatun has returned to the tribe. The joy in their daughter Fatma Hatun's eyes met with Osman Bey's tears, turning this reunion into an emotional moment. But this is only the beginning of an even greater war, because there is still one soul missing. Bala, I gave you my word. I will find our daughter too, Osman Bey swore, striking fear into his enemies and giving strength to his allies. But remember, Osman Bey does not stand alone in this struggle. You are also a part of this legend. Stand beside him in this epic fight. Subscribe now, like the video, and let your voice be heard in the comments for Osman Bey's victory. Betrayal will be punished, loyalty will triumph, and history is being written at this very moment. Osman Bey has rescued Bala Hatun, but the real battle is just beginning. He has sworn to free her from the clutches of the treacherous Kuzul Shaitan Sofia, whose hidden temple is filled with deadly traps. Osman Bey's heart burned with an unyielding fire, his eyes ablaze with fury. Only one thought consumed his mind, to save his beloved and drown the infidels in their own blood. Yet, the enemy had foreseen his move and woven a plan within a plan. The cunning jackal Ulugan moved with all his might to aid the Crimson Devil, Sophia. However, Osman Bey, ever watchful, had anticipated every possibility. He sensed the trap, foresaw the enemy's schemes, and took action accordingly. With his loyal Alps, he waged a fierce battle, rescuing Bala Hatun and retreating to his hidden encampment. But this victory was not the end of a love left incomplete. It was the dawn of a greater struggle. His heart swore an oath. Balam, I will reunite with you and our daughter. Bala Hatun, now freed from captivity, found solace in Osman Bey's arms, yet her tears did not cease, nor did the fire in her heart fade. Their eyes met, and Osman Bey, seeing the sorrow in her gaze, vowed with unshakable resolve. For every tear that falls from these Salem-like eyes, I will take vengeance. I will find our daughter and bring her home. Holding her hands tightly, he made a promise, not merely to her, but to the very foundation of his cause. Yet the enemy would not accept defeat so easily. Ulugan and Sophia, having failed once, devised an even more sinister plan to isolate Osman Bey. They would stop at nothing to weaken. As Osman Bey prepared for the coming war, he gathered his trusted warriors, his sons Orhan Bey and Aladdin Bey, his commanders Boran Bey, Kirkute, and Yusuf Bey. With steadfast determination in his eyes and his sword firm in hand, he laid out the grand strategy for battle. Before him, the words etched into his blade served as his guiding light. There is no soldier like Ali, nor a sword like Zulfikar. But this war could not be won by the sword alone. Unity was the key, for the Turkish banner must never fall. To ensure this, Osman Bey entrusted Boran Bey with a crucial mission: to seek out the Turkish Beys and call them to stand together in support of their cause. Yet the enemy had already taken the first step. The jackal Ulugan, alongside the deceitful Ilbey Alp, set a treacherous scheme in motion. We will turn the Turkish Beys against Ulugan declared. We will offer them gold, make them bow to wealth, and leave Osman isolated. These words signaled the tightening of the noose of betrayal around Osman Bey. Aware of the looming danger, he gathered his Alps for a decisive council. The enemy would try every possible way to isolate Osman Bey, but even if he stood alone, he would never abandon his cause. His sword was ready, the battle was upon them, and Osman Bey was preparing to strike the final blow. This war would not only be fought on the battlefield, but also in the realm of words and strategy. The Turkish Beys had a choice: stand by Osman Bey, or be lured by Ulugan's gold and betray him. With his Alps at his side, Osman Bey set out for a decisive assault. There was no turning back now. Bala Hatun had been saved, but the fight was far from over. Now, it was time to find their daughter and reclaim what had been lost. This war was not just for Osman Bey's family. It was for the future of the Kayu tribe, the Turkish lands, and the great empire that was yet to rise. Would Osman Bey stand alone in this struggle, or would the Turkish Beys rally to his side? What new treachery had Ulugan and Sophia devised? Would Osman Bey finally reunite with his daughter? To witness this grand battle, subscribe now, like the video, and raise your voice in the comments for Osman Bey's victory. The raid on Sophia's Dark Temple had reached a critical moment as Osman Bey gripped his sword tighter. The chains that had bound Bala Hatun's wrists were shattered, signaling that the time had come to make the enemy pay. But danger lurked not only in the open, it hid in the shadows as well. As the jackal Ulugan led Byzantine soldiers to cut off Osman Bey's escape, treachery awaited inside. The sound of clashing steel echoed through the chamber, marking the beginning of a fierce battle. Osman Bey launched himself toward the Byzantine commander, his sword flashing with the speed of Zulfikar. His first strike halted an incoming blade aimed at his wrist, but they failed to understand. Turkish tradition is like light. Darkness cannot consume it. Boran Bey and Yusuf Bey flanked Osman Bey, their swords cutting through enemy ranks. Serkate, grinning, spun his blade in his hands and charged at the Byzantine soldiers. Swords clashed in midair, the sound of steel echoing through the temple's walls. With a swift strike, Osman Bey took down the soldier before him, then turned and grabbed Bala Hatun's arm. "Balam, it is time to leave." Bala Hatun met his gaze. There was no fear in those eyes, no hesitation. Only the certainty that the moment of victory had arrived. At Osman Bey's signal, the Alps threw their full strength against the massive temple doors. With a few heavy blows, the iron lock shattered, and at last, the doors swung open. A gust of cold air rushed in from the outside, piercing through the darkness of the temple. Osman Bey and his men fought off the remaining enemies with one last powerful assault and moved swiftly toward the exit. But just as they were about to leave, a voice echoed through the crumbling stone. "Run all you want, Osman. We are still on your heels." It was the voice of the jackal, Ulugan. The fight was not over yet. Osman Bey raised his shield and cast one last glance behind. Oppression cannot protect those who flee from it. Justice will find them wherever they go. With those words, he gathered Bala Hatun and his Alps, stepping out of the temple into the night, heading toward their secret camp. A new war had just begun. Now, let's discuss what awaits in this legendary episode. Some stories pull you in, strike a chord deep in your heart. Osman Bey's struggle is exactly that. A saga of loyalty and betrayal, of loss and reunion. A journey that never ends. Bala Hatun's rescue brought hope, but this is only the beginning of a much greater war. Osman Bey now stands tall against the infidels, not just for his wife, but to find his lost daughter. But remember, this fight is not only Osman Bey's, it is all of ours. Will Osman Bey be reunited with his daughter? When will Begum Hatun and the traitorous Ilbey Alp finally be unmasked? Will the Turkish Beys stand by Osman Bey, or will they be blinded by Ulugan's gold? Together, we will search for the answer. Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's discuss, debate, and stand united. Because when we stand as one, we are stronger. Osman Bey does not fight alone, and neither do you. You are a part of this epic journey. To stand with Osman Bey in this noble cause, subscribe now, like the video, and let your voice be heard in the comments. I appreciate you all from the depths of my heart. This channel is not just a place to watch, it is a gathering, a family. We have grown together, laughed together, grieved together. Now, it is time to grow stronger together. Remember, a lone tree may fall to many axes, but a forest stands tall against any storm. Now is the time to show our strength. Stand with Osman Bey, be part of this sacred journey. Those who betray know their fate. Those who remain loyal will find their path clear.